Well, good morning, everybody. Please let me take the opportunity to welcome. I see that last I looked, we have 21 people out there who are connected. So to all of you, just let me take the opportunity to welcome all of you as our audience. Clearly, there are more to come, but for all of you who are here, it is a special privilege to be with you today to do something very, very different and something very, very beneficial. You know, time is becoming even more precious, as is our money. And where you spend your time and where you spend your money is absolutely critical if you are to make any progress in this life. And today, let me give you the reassurance that over the next hour and a bit, you are going to be spending your time well, because we have a gathering of some of the best minds in the country whose experiences will move you and hopefully inspire you to do something different with your life and move in the direction that you would like with more confidence based on the information that they are going to share with us. Let me introduce myself very briefly. My name is Patrick Kariwo. I am very privileged to have been selected as moderator today, and I am looking forward to spending this time with you. I take the opportunity to welcome our participants. Indeed, those who will be providing the testimonies that will form the background of this conversation. We also take the opportunity to thank at the same time our development partners, our ministry, and also the people in the background who always make these platforms possible from a technological point of view, because it does take some work. And it takes a lot of attention to just make sure that things are moving. So to all of you, our actors, it is great to be with you, and we are on track, and we should be starting not too long from now. In fact, if I have my time correct, I think it's a little under 2 minutes. We should be able to get going. So please stay where you are, and welcome to you all. So again, ladies and gentlemen, not too long to go. We are in position, ready to go. It gives me great pleasure while we are together to announce that, and I'm sure I'm right in saying this, please confirm, Honourable Minister, are you with us, sir? Can you hear me at all?
Yes, it's the Deputy Minister. Very happy to be with you today.
Wonderful. That in the background, ladies and gentlemen, is the esteemed Deputy Minister for Lands, Agriculture, Climate, Water and Rural Resettlement. He shoulders an enormous responsibility, and it is, I hope I say it correctly, Sir, Vangelis Peter Haritatos. We say to you good morning and welcome. It is a great pleasure, sir, to have you with us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, also just a note to you also that you are aware we are live streaming, and we will be live streaming on Facebook. and also Agribusiness Media, and the UN Zimbabwe Facebook link as well. So you will be featuring on all those platforms. So exciting times, and certainly exciting hour in store for all of us. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. What a pleasure to have you with us. Welcome to the Food Systems Zimbabwe webinar, which is really a platform driven by the Ministry of Agriculture, the government of Zimbabwe, with the support of the United Nations. And really, it is a fitting platform for us to be meeting on. In fact, in approaching my preparation for this morning, one quotation or one piece of wisdom kept coming to mind. And that piece of wisdom is simply to say, never waste a crisis. When I was younger, I never realized what this meant. But of course, when you are older, your perspective changes. And we should not waste a crisis, because every crisis gives us an opportunity to reflect on our assumptions and behavior. And so it is today that we will be doing just that, reflecting on our assumptions and behavior as they concern how it is that we navigate this environment successfully by doing what it is that we do more and better. More and better, of course, is our theme today, and you'll understand that as we dig deeper into what agriculture is offering by way of opportunities, and how the youth specifically are well positioned to unlock these opportunities at this time, courtesy of various factors that are now driving global business and also affecting local opportunities at the same time. So let me just also reiterate, ladies and gentlemen, that we are in the company of the Deputy Minister in the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Climate, Water and Rural Resettlement, and also our development partners, Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, and we will be hearing from them as we now begin formally to go into the subject matter. So wherever you are, please remain where you are and stay tuned, because this hour could make a difference to how you are going to approach the rest of your agricultural related activities from now going into the future. So our opening remarks for today will also be coming from a gentleman who represents the FAO. And the reason I say this, ladies and gentlemen, is because, sorry, I think I may have just lost my place there for a little bit, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, our opening remarks are coming from our FAO representative, who is the FAO Sub-Regional Coordinator for Southern Africa, and is a representative for Zimbabwe, Lesotho, and Eswatini. This gentleman, ladies and gentlemen, is already in our company, so let me welcome him very, very warmly, and also declare that his name is Dr. Patrice Talata-Kokam. We say to you, good morning, sir, and welcome. Can you hear me at all, sir? Dr. Talata-Kokam, can you hear me, sir? We are waiting upon a response from Dr. Patrice Talata-Kokam, who is the FAO representative, who will give us the opening remarks. Doctor, can you hear me at all?
Might be challenges with connectivity, Patrick.
I hear you, Audra. we will just wait a little bit. Do we have a representative from FAO who can perhaps give us an indication whether Dr. Talata Kokam is in place?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Doctor. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Now I can.
Wonderful. We can hear you. Please go ahead, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. I have to apologize. Mr. Patrice Tara could not make it. He has another event at the Ministry of Agriculture. It's a live event, so he's been there. So he has delegated me. My name is Louis Muhigirwa. I'm the Deputy FAO representative for Zimbabwe, Lesotho, and Eswatini. So I'm going to deliver his keynote speech. Thank you, moderator. Honorable Evangelist Peter Haritatos, Deputy Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Water, Climate, and Rural Settlement. Mr. Rawlings Coffee, CEO of Agribusiness Media. Youth in Agribusiness, whom we are convening here to showcase their experience, members of the media. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, it is my honor and pleasure to address you at this virtual event on sharing of experiences among youth involved in agriculture and agribusiness. With climate change, conflict, hunger, and environmental crisis regularly in the news and social media every day, the younger generation is more aware than ever of global issues and arguably also more active than ever. And why shouldn't they be? It is their future at risk. FAO is pleased to have supported the government of Zimbabwe to successfully hold the 3-stage national and provincial pre-summit dialogues. The dialogues were guided by 7 principles of engagement, all of which are underpinned by the summit's vision of an equitable and healthy future for all, and contribute to the progressive realization of the right to food. The transformation of agriculture and food systems in Zimbabwe requires a well-coordinated multi-stakeholder drive to address the current inherent weakness and inequalities as we pursue the global drive to eliminate hunger and all forms of malnutrition by the year 2030. Our food systems are contributing to and are affected by extreme weather events associated with climate change, land degradation, and biodiversity loss. Responding to these challenges requires a system-based approach that addresses the range and complexity in a holistic and sustainable manner. A sustainable food system is one that delivers food security and nutrition for all in such a way that the economic, social, environmental basis to generate food security and nutrition for future generation is not compromised. This means that it is profitable throughout, ensuring economic sustainability. It has broad-based benefit for society, securing social sustainability, and that it has also a positive or neutral impact on the natural resources environment, safeguarding the sustainability of the environment. Ladies and gentlemen, some of the initiatives implemented by FAO in Zimbabwe, which are in support of addressing the transformation of food systems while ensuring participation of the youth, include the Green Jobs for Rural Youth Employment Project, which is designed to contribute to achieving the SDG 1, 2, 8, and 13 by reducing rural poverty, addressing youth employment issues, climate change, and strengthening local food system through the provision of green job opportunities in rural areas and agricultural sector to young people. I'm pleased to inform you that we are also finalizing the development of the FAO country program framework, which will run from 2022 to 2026. The country program framework is looking at building climate resilience and robust agricultural production and strengthening natural resources governance system at national, local, and community level. Youth have already made significant steps forward in getting climate issue on the world stage and global political agenda. Their voices make a big difference as they fight for their future. Young people are also key to transforming our agri-food system for the better, creating a new system that can meet modern challenges and provide nutrition for a growing population. With these remarks, may I take this opportunity to wish you a successful deliberation, and I thank you.
Well, we thank you, sir, for your contribution, and thank you for stepping in there for Dr. Patrice Tala-Tokokam. You did that very ably, and I think what you've done is you have effectively presented a platform on which we can now build this particular discussion, and we thank you for your contribution and the set of challenges outlined. We are very grateful for the support of FAO as a development partner, and thrilled to be in your company today. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, also still within our opening remarks, we are delighted to present to you now the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Water, Climate and Rural Resettlement, Vangelis Peter Haritatos. Good morning to you, sir, and welcome. It's great to have you.
Good morning again, Patrick. Thank you very much for having me. Let me start by recognizing Dr. Patrice Tala, the FAO Sub-Regional Coordinator for Zimbabwe and Southern Africa, represented by Mr. Muigirwa. Almost sounds like a Shona name, but the accent is not Shona, I know. Representatives from the United Nations Resident Coordinator's Office, Mr. Rawlings Coffey, the CEO of Agribusiness, Media and Brand Africa, our youth champions in agribusiness, members of the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, allow me, colleagues, to recognize and commend the conveners of this virtual meeting, whose objective is in sync with the focus of our sectoral blueprints. And in this, I make reference to the agriculture and food systems transformation strategy, together with its key pillars in the form of plans. You all agree with me, colleagues, that as a sector, we would love to have failed. Sorry, forgive me. You all agree with me, colleagues, that as a sector, we would have failed if our focus and strategic options are not speaking to the need to amplify the voices of young Zimbabweans in agribusiness and upping their role in advancing Zimbabwe's food systems. I feel greatly honored to be a guest of honor at this notable event, where youths occupy the center of our discussion. From the onset, I would like to mention that I'm the youngest minister serving in government, so I truly understand how important our youth are in the development and future of our great nation. Vision 2030 of an empowered and prosperous upper middle income society, eloquently enunciated by His Excellency President E.D. Mnangagwa, requires agriculture to be the core of community development and transformation. The transformational vision is largely driven by development that leaves no one and no place behind. We fully subscribe to development that leaves no youth and no women behind, anchored on the Agriculture and Food Systems Transformation Strategy and the National Development Strategy 1, or NDS 1 as we call it. Colleagues, as you may know, the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, together with the United Nations and other partners, convened a series of national and provincial food system dialogues this year from June to September of 2021. The national and provincial food systems dialogues were part of the Global Food Systems Dialogue, which was held on the margins of the 76th United Nations General Assembly on the 23rd of September 2021. During the national dialogue, it was noted that food systems touches every aspect of human existence. The health of our food systems profoundly affects well-being, our environment, our economies, and of course, our culture. As such, a well-functioning food system has the power to bring us together as families, communities, and indeed as a nation. However, too many of the world's food systems are fragile, unexamined, and vulnerable to disruption due to disasters and external shocks such as cyclones and pandemics such as COVID-19. The good news is that transforming our food systems has potential of countering the negatives of disasters and shocks. Transforming our food systems is among the most powerful ways to make progress towards the achievement of all 17 Sustainable Development Goals. The overarching question is, how do we sustainably transform our food systems? Ladies and gentlemen, every person can and should play a role. Zimbabwe is part of the global food system, and so we all must come together to bring about the transformation that is required to achieve the national vision. In this regard, Zimbabwean youths are key stakeholders to bring about positive change in the national food system. It's imperative that youths understand our own food systems and be proactive in terms of identifying platforms and opportunities to inform policy and institutional arrangements that create the required environment for a stronger, fairer, and certainly more sustainable development trajectory. It is my sincere hope that this morning's discussions that has brought together the young agri-preneurs will forever be a reference point for a change delicate young soul. Zimbabwe is a nation of young people, and it makes the case for being its most vibrant, most innovative, and more exciting. Its young and resilient professionals have smashed stereotypes and put their mark in the world. I'm glad to see young Zimbabweans making farming and agriculture fashionable and joining the nation to reclaim the breadbasket status. Colleagues, we are more excited as a nation today, and we owe it to the youths. Currently, we are sitting on more than 2.7 million metric tons of cereals against our national requirements of 1.2 million metric tons. Colleagues, according to the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, our sector grew by a massive 36.4%, ushering the agricultural gross value to shift from 5.2 billion United States dollars in August of 2020 to slightly above 8 billion United States dollars this year against our 2025 gross value target of 8.2 billion. This means that this figure certainly needs to be adjusted. I'm convinced, ladies and gentlemen, that with complementing events such as this one, we will definitely sustain and maintain this development trajectory. I'm heartened to see young women and men in Zimbabwe proving again and again that they are ready and willing to contribute to the inclusive growth and sustainable development of our great nation. Colleagues, no one can take this from us. Over the years, despite challenges, Zimbabwe has produced an educated and skilled critical mass of young people since its independence. This is the right time for the nation to nurture the very youths, redirect their efforts, and ensure the agricultural sector reaps benefit of their involvement and participation. This is the time to harness the human capital and youth dividend towards making Zimbabwe a formidable economic, social, and political powerhouse. There is no shortcut to prosperity, and unfortunately, good ideas are not good enough. So much hinges on action and delivering concrete results. As such, economic advancement and inclusive growth will be determined by how active the young people will be in playing their role in revamping the national food systems. The achievement of Vision 2030 requires strong engagement and advocacy and mobilization of young people. In line with the food systems recommendations articulated in the National Synthesis Report, the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water, and Rural Development will pursue growth and job creation through increasing multi-stakeholder involvement for agricultural productivity. Our current emphasis is nurturing youths, developing entrepreneurial skills, enhancing their access to finance, and providing a basket of incentives so that we activate their participation in the broader agricultural economy. This is the key reason, colleagues, that explains the establishment of a youth desk within our ministry. Agricultural colleges are now producing well-focused graduates for new land reform dispensation, steeped in the college's display of unique entrepreneurial excellence, hence radiating into the surrounding communities and acting as an epicenter of agricultural transformation. As a ministry, we're very much aware of the importance of our youth for the agricultural sector and the economy at large. I am pleased to inform you that our agricultural colleges are currently training youths to enhance their capacities in agricultural development, of course being supported by FAO and IFAD. This is quite a commendable effort. The ministry has also recently formulated provincial youth integrated agricultural development centers to act as incubators for youth venturing into agriculture. It is my fervent hope, ladies and gentlemen, that initiatives such as this forum will help us get the inclusion of youth as much as possible. When I cast my eyes and heart into the future, looking at youths across the country, I see great agripreneurs. I see youthful, innovative agribusiness gurus. Yes, I see an active lot collectively ushering our country to prosperity. In conclusion, let me promise all youths in agribusiness in every corner of our great nation that our ministry will take your deliberations seriously and we will be fully behind you. The support is certainly guaranteed. Have fruitful discussions. God bless you all. I thank you.
Honourable Deputy Minister Vangelis Peter Haritatos, thank you for your words, sir. I am particularly struck by your observation that there are no shortcuts to the success that we are looking for. I think somebody else put it differently and simply said, you know, there is no elevator to success. We all have to take the stairs. So thank you for your words. We are encouraged by your support and your energy. It came right through, and I can assure you, even as we go through this process, this spirit will drive us. So thank you again, Honourable Deputy Minister.
You're welcome, and thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we move on now, and we are going to convene the panel. And this panel is a feature of the various players who are involved as youth and agriculture, whose various testimonies will now give us the background to the discussion that we are going to have. So without wasting any time, let me very quickly move to our first one, who will represent an area that has been familiar for a long time, but who has had a very different take on this particular discipline. And he is specializing in goat orders. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Masimba Biriwasha. And before I go into introducing Masimba, let me just hasten, ladies and gentlemen, to add that some of you may be having connectivity issues, and we appreciate that. And we just encourage you to remain connected. Do not give up. We ourselves experienced some of these earlier. So we do recognize that because of some of the recent power challenges that we are experiencing, there may be challenges with your connectivity, but do not give up. So again, I revert to our first participant, who is Masimba Biriwasha, who is a specialist in goat orders. So Masimba, we hand over to you so that we can start with either a video or indeed your testimony.
We'll start with the video.
Thank you, Audra.
Hello, my name is Masimba Biriwasha and I am CEO of God Orders. God Orders was founded in 2019 to improve goat production and value addition. We were addressing a pain point in the market where we realized that goat meat was not available, was not accessible, or was unaffordable. So we think young people have a key role to play in actually solving the problems that are in the goat value chain today. There's a lot of space for us young people to incorporate technology to improve the process of supply chain in the goat industry. At Goat Orders, we really believe that we are contributing to building a new source of economic growth, and that we're creating jobs that are highly needed in this country. So we really think the God opportunity is an opportunity of the future, and we are playing our part as God Orders company to unlock that opportunity.
Over to Masimba.
Wonderful. Thank you, Masimba. What an encouraging set of remarks you have given us, and interesting area that you have gone into. Masimba, can you hear me at all? Masimba, can you hear us? Audra, can I just confirm if Masimba is connected?
He is indeed, but was having some challenges.
No problem.
Okay. Let's try one more time. If not, we can
Hello.
move to the next one. And, oh, there you go.
Hi, Masimba. I can hear you.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Wonderful. Yeah, good to chat to you, Masimba. And very interesting to hear your perspective on goats, which is something for older people like ourselves that we have known all our lives. But, you know, you mentioned a few things that I found very interesting. You talk about the need for value addition. And this is not language that was always common in our industry. What does that mean when you talk about, you know, a value addition? Where have you added that value?
Well, the company I'm representing is called God Orders, founded right at the height of COVID. That's last year. And we've got a mission to add value right from the production to the logistics to the retail. So it's value addition across the board. Because after following our analysis, we realized that the goat industry in Zimbabwe is in need of a revamp. Like you said, the goat trading has been there for ages, since the time of Jesus. And what we're trying to do is to give it a different spin, given our context where goat meat is not available in the marketplace, and we feel that this value chain has been so underdeveloped. And what we are trying to do is, first of all, help, in particular, our smallholder farmers, who are among some of the poorest of Zimbabweans, to help them to upgrade the production standards. I was just recently in Doma, in the Mangura area, where the production standards are very low. And the thing is, if we can upgrade those production standards, we can potentially recoup the loss that we are having at production level, where we are losing 65% of our goat kids here in this country. The kid mortality of goats is simply unacceptable. So we need to add value by constructing new types of goat pens that can enable farmers to get a better harvest of goats. And then if you come to the consumer side, goat meat has traditionally just been boiled and served like that, or stewed up here in Zimbabwe, but there's a lot of things that can be done with it. So from your sausages, that's what we're doing at our entry point at our shop. We're producing sausages, we are producing goat means, we are producing goat burgers, something that we call goat dogs. So we're innovating a lot around the meat itself. There's a lot more that we can do, pizza and stuff, so that we can get into the fast food area with goats. And also we're looking at tanning, so that we can work with the skin. We're losing so much of the goat skin here in Zimbabwe. So just imagine if we were to establish a tannery, how much of that we can regain and how much we can get
Masimba,
from that.
can you hear me?
And value addition would come in this.
Masimba?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you.
I can
Please
hear
accept
you.
my apologies. But I just really did want to announce that the Deputy Minister is having to take leave. So we'd just like to take this opportunity to thank him for his participation. So thank you again, Deputy Minister. It's been great to have you. And as you encouraged us, we will continue with the conversation and make sure that we direct the feedback to your office, sir.
Thank you, Patrick. I'm very sorry. Unfortunately, today, I think we had the same function as Dr. Tala or another function with the president. So I have to get back to that. My apologies to everyone. This is a very important platform. And I was quite excited to listen to Masimba while he was talking. Please do, if you could send me minutes of this or at least some notes, I would love to hear more about what our youth are saying. As I mentioned in my speech, the youth are our future, and we definitely have to keep our doors open to them at all times. We have to listen to them because they are our leaders of tomorrow. So thank you very much to you all. Patrick, thank you very much. Dr. Tala, represented FAO, thank you very much for this function. And please stay safe and God bless you all. Have a good Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable. So Masimba, thank you again. You and I were in conversation, and I apologize for the interruption, but you mentioned a few really exciting things that I just wanted to really underscore. The first of which was your outreach to other places beyond Harare. I think you mentioned Doma, the area, if I'm correct, and what you were doing to advise the farmers. What kind of reception are you receiving from the farmers, and are they acting on the advice that you are supplying? Because, you know, the idea of quality beyond just supplying, I find, is a factor in our market.
Yeah, just to say, Patrick, that we find that the farmers want to raise goats, but what we found is that they don't know where to take the goats to. So they end up just selling in their own local community. But what we found that there's a lack of knowledge about goat husbandry, because the goat traditionally has just been regarded as an animal that can grow by itself, that it doesn't need a lot of care. Whilst there's a bit of truth to that, there's still some things that you need to do. For example, you can't keep all the goat dung in the goat house for the whole year. And that is what our farmers do. They don't clean up their goat houses. So one of the striking things in the Doma area was that you get to our household and there is 5 does or 5 female goats, and there's only 2 kids. And then they tell you that the 4 goats that are there are pregnant and they're expecting 3 kids per each. And yet there's only 2 kids. So it means that there is a lot of kid mortality. There's a lot of kids that are dying simply because they're not cleaning up their goat pens, something that is so basic. So we find that there is lack of just simple basic knowledge. And then our goat pens are designed in a traditional way where water can seep into the pen and then affect the health of the goats. So definitely we need to emphasize more quality production at the production level so that that then can feed into the supply chain.
Well, thank you for that, Masimba. It's very interesting, you know, and I really do wish we had more time to dig deeper. But even just the bit that you've given us, I think is sufficient for people to get a very realistic appreciation that there is something happening on the ground. And number 2, that the generation of ideas, I'm particularly tickled by the idea of redesigning the pens. And, you know, we don't change as people unless we have or secure new information. So all of what you are sharing is truly valuable. And I'm really looking forward to us developing this conversation when we have more opportunities in future. But for now, what would you say as a parting shot you would like for the audience to know about goat orders? And I ask you this because you mentioned that you are looking at getting into new markets like fast foods, etc. Where can people buy good quality goat meat before we go to the next speaker?
So just to say, Zimbabwe has got 4 million goats at the moment. We've got about 65% mortality rate. We've got about 65% mortality rate. That's unacceptable. Our shop can be found along Bulawayo Road. We are ostensibly one of the cheapest sources of quality Zimbabwean natural goat meat. along Bulawayo Road. You can come out there and then you can purchase goats, and we can definitely have a conversation. Anyone interested in getting into goats can come out to our shop or get in touch with me, and we can have a long conversation. We really believe that goats can indeed change lives, and at the same time they can also provide Zimbabweans with an alternative source of a high quality, healthy protein. So there's a lot in goats that we can tap to boost our economy, and at the same time to boost our human health.
Terrific. And it's been really good to meet you virtually and to chat with you virtually. So we are looking forward to the next coming together that we will have. But in the meantime, we wish you all the very best, Masimba. It's a noble journey that you've embarked on, and stay strong and stay safe.
Thank you.
Okay, then, ladies and gentlemen, moving right along. Our next focus is climate smart, and I would like to introduce to you Killian Ruzande. Killian, are you there? Good morning to you. Killian,
yes,
good
hello.
morning.
Yes, good morning. Yes, I can hear you.
Wonderful, Killian. Tell me a little bit about your, I'm assuming that you may not have video backup, or do we have backup for video, Audra, or is Killian speaking?
We have a video first, and then we'll move to Killian.
Wonderful. So let's play a video from Killian, and then I'll come right back to you, Killian.
Okay, thanks. Hi, my name is Killian Ruzande, the founder of Eden Urban Farm, a company that promotes innovative farming, regenerative farming, and integrated farming. A company that is promoting the involvement of youth in the area of agriculture, because agriculture is a sustainable way of living, and helping you to generate income, helping you to produce sustainable feed, and at the same time generate also income that you can make use of. We are promoting climate smart farming techniques like aquaponics, hydroponics, fish farming, poultry, and rabbitry. And we are also encouraging the making of your own feeds, so that you create an ecosystem approach to food production, making use of everything that you've got available at your farm. And then these feeds involve azolla, duckweed, black soldier fly maggot farming, hydroponic fodder, and a number of things. And we are also encouraging the use of organic fertilizer with issues to do with climate change, the use of compost and vermicompost. So food security at household level is what we are encouraging and promoting for the lives of the youth, that they can make something that they can eat on their own, and also they can sell the surplus, and they can also generate an income. Ourselves, we are producing fish, we are producing rabbits and organic vegetables at our farm. So if I can do, you can also do it.
Okay, then. So, Killian, hi again. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. I'm there. Hi.
Terrific. Yeah, it's good to hear your perspective. And, I was just thinking at the end of your video there that they say that there's a saying that there are two important days in anyone's life: the day that you are born and the day you understand why, when you understand your purpose. And clearly you think, or you sound as if you are somebody who has found their purpose in life. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey and how you have arrived at the point of discovering that agriculture is your choice?
Okay, thanks, I. Having grown in a family that did a bit of some agriculture, we are mostly into the selling or the retailing of some fishing tackle, and that has been the business that I've been involved in since I left school, since I left doing my A-level. But now seeing that there were a lot of competitors in the game, I thought of upping up the game and making myself different from the rest. That's when now I chose that I wanted to deepen enough into doing agriculture. And I started doing fish farming then. I remember then that's when I started doing fish farming, and I had a lot of people coming on board as well, and thought of actually differentiating myself from the rest. And I started now to do into these climate smart farming techniques, which were not here as much. Things like aquaponics, things like hydroponics, which are climate smart farming techniques, which I started to read about. I self-taught myself all that, making use of internet, which was only YouTube, which you can either choose for it to be constructive or destructive to you, but I chose that it be constructive in my own personal life. And I was watching a lot of videos about aquaponics and YouTube. So I got knowledge there, and the turnaround came when I wanted to implement this. I had no funds then, but I had one of my pastors who was running a foster home, and they wanted food produced at their place for the children in their care. So I approached him and I told him that I've got these ideas that can make us produce good quality food for the youngsters, which are organics, which is the produce of all the systems that I've just talked about. And he brought in the story, and then we did set up this at the back end of his of the foster home, and we did that's aquaponic setup, the hydroponic setup, these other things like black soldier fly maggot farming, vermicomposting, which are components that can be used in recycling waste at your home. So we did everything, and thank God that everything was a success from the theory that I had, and that was the birth of Eden Urban Farm. And 2019, we saw the vulnerability of our food supply chain when the lockdown started. You could not even get vegetables from the street because we're under lockdown. And then that's when we thought that it's an opportunity for us to make something. It's an opportunity for us to make money selling these systems to people that they can produce their food on their own. So yes, this has been my passion, and my drive has only been centered to wanting to know more and wanting to be innovative, to be different from the rest. So yes, that has been my journey to where I am now, and I've got a lot of people seeking assistance from across the world, if I can say, and also having these aquaponic systems that are mainly for African people that we have developed. So yes, this is where I am now. Exciting journey,
sir. And thank you for sharing. Now, tell me, Killian, now that you talk about the need to be innovative, and this is a word we hear a lot, but you know, it's much easier said than done. And I think I've come to appreciate that because I'm in business myself. What characteristics do you think make people more innovative or more able to innovate in agriculture based on your own experience?
Okay, the character, I would say, the drive mainly is you have got to be persevering. Perseverance is one character, and you've got to be a risk taker because you are chartering your own road. You are doing something that nobody has done before. I really think what was being said when the Wright brothers invented the plane, or when Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, I think there were a lot of negatives that were being said. But the moment that the experiments went on well, I believe that we had a lot of people joining in the bandwagon and a lot of people coming on board. So I believe that having an entrepreneurial mindset and character, and also perseverance and risk taker, I believe those are the qualities that make one an innovator. Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks again. Yeah, because it does make it very clear for people who are considering that as a life option, that they must be aware that, you know, the need to be the right person is really, really important. So thank you for sharing with us. And perhaps your last question before we move on to our next one is, what future do you see for young people who want to do what you have done?
The space, I would say that there is a lot of space for everyone to come on board and to join in, considering that climate change is here to stay. And I believe that we have got to be as innovative as possible in addressing climate change, since I think we have seen the disasters across the globe. We are seeing a lot of droughts, a lot of floods that are happening around, and I believe that we are going to need these innovative methods of farming if we are going to feed the next generation. If we are going to be feeding the next generation, maybe growing crops not on land, but maybe indoors, outside where there are a lot of disasters. I believe that it's going to be the future. And I would say even the youngsters out there like me, there is a lot that they can do, which doesn't require a lot of money, for instance, to start. I would say to start something like vermicomposting, where you're going to produce organic fertilizer and worms, which can be stock feed. You can just start by maybe collecting garbage from around, something that is degradable. You're talking of the greens, we are talking of the leftover salvers, and then you can put them in your vermicompost, and then you're going to make your compost, and then you're going to make your worms, which will earn you a commercial value. So there is a lot of space that youngsters can join in, and I would encourage them to come aboard and not shun of being dead. Yes, that's what I would say, yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, Killian. It was good to chat to you and good to make your acquaintance. Can I take this opportunity to also wish you the very best? And, you know, you used a very important word, perseverance. I think that applies in all our lives. So all the very best as you go forward.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, then. Chat soon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, moving on. Can I just check if my next speaker is available? Wendy? Wendy, can you hear me at all? Hello, Wendy, are you out there? Not a problem. I tell you what, we can go back to Wendy if we can find her a bit later on. Right now, what we are going to do is to move on to the next speaker, who is going to speak into a subject that I really, really find interesting, which is market data and the linkages. Market data, it's been said, information is the difference maker. And it's not what you have, it's what you do with what you have. There's so many people who have information, but they are doing nothing with it. So what we would like to do is to introduce you to Sydney Hangabera, who is making use of market data and the linkages thereof.
You have a video, Sydney, and I'll play that first.
Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Sydney Hlangabeza and I'm the CEO of Musika Zimbabwe. We started Musika in 2016 with my friends as a way of solving the problems that we faced when we tried to do a backyard pepper crop. The two major challenges that we faced, which I believe are faced by any new farmer, even by seasoned farmers in Zimbabwe, was finding reliable market information on the crops that we wanted to grow and connecting with reliable and cheap input suppliers. So we developed Musika Express, which is a platform that allows farmers to buy discounted agriculture inputs in the comfort of their farm and get them delivered to them within 24 hours. We also developed Musika Analytics, which is a platform that helps farmers to make intelligent, data-driven market and production decisions through daily price updates that are authentic and timeless, as well as market price trend analysis on the platform. A lot of people say agriculture is a heartbreaking industry. Yes, it is, but I'd like to urge my fellow entrepreneurs to stay vigilant, for the future is great.
Okay then, very, very interesting, as I anticipated. Good morning to you, Sydney. Can you hear me?
Morning, how are you? I can hear you.
Great. Yeah, good to have you with us, Sydney. I am really thrilled that we're able to chat about this particular subject because, you know, without information, as I said before, nothing will change. So what have you had to do to make sure that people know that you are out there with this information that can make a difference?
Okay, so what we have tried to do, basically, we have tried two things to put our name out there and maybe to help farmers to actually realize that this information that's so important that they can use and improve the agribusinesses. The first thing that we've done is we have a very great social media presence. I think we have over 3,000 agriculture WhatsApp groups that we're trying to push out this kind of information. We've also partnered with the Ministry of Agriculture in 2017 to do what we can say roadshows. We have gone to more than 10, I think, irrigation schemes in Zimbabwe across the whole country. We've been to Chimanda, we have been to what do you call it, Vumba, Wonde, we have been to Karoi. So we have tried our best to put the word out there to reach even the most remote farmer so that they can actually know that there is this kind of information. And we have received a great response from that to the tune of, say, up to now, I think we have about 60 to 70,000 subscribed farmers on our platforms who are receiving these daily price updates and who are also receiving this information across our platforms.
Wow. Again, as I say, that's really exciting, and congratulations for the progress that you've made so far. But, you know, talking to the actual farmers is only one end of that spectrum. The other thing that you are having to do is to link up with the people who are giving you the price updates. What have you done to make sure that that other end is satisfied, where you are getting the right information at the right time?
All right, so what we've done is for the first 2 years of our enterprise, when we first introduced Music Analytics, we were doing the data gathering by ourselves, but we realized that there were other players who were focusing mostly on collecting the information. So we have partnered with M. Campbell. I'm sure we all know the famous Mr. Charles Stewart. So we partnered with them to actually provide us with the information from the various markets, because that's their specialty. So what we have done, what we then do as Musica, we then try to push the information through the ICTs and the various platforms that we have to actually push the information to the farmer. So basically, the market side or the supply side of the information, we are very happy with that side because we have got into a partnership that we trust.
Wonderful. So the last thing I will ask you, one of the biggest challenges in making all of these things happen is the need to develop a relationship management capability. What can you say about relationship management and how crucial it is in your success?
Like you said, the relationship management, I think, is one of the crucial things that can drive any business. And we've had a challenge in doing that. We've also made strides in trying to improve that. The first thing that I can say is you need to identify your key partners in the business. And we have done that very well from the onset. We have worked with the Ministry of Agriculture, I think, for 4 years now. We've also worked with various partners in the agriculture industry for quite a long time. And that has helped us because it has opened doors for us, doors that we never thought we could open, and that were so difficult for us to open. And when I talk to most of the agriculture entrepreneurs and colleagues, they say it's also difficult to open certain doors. But if you get into partnerships with various players in the industry, one person introduces you to the next person, and that person introduces you to the next person until you have a network and a community of people who can actually help you achieve what you want to achieve and do the things that you're supposed to do. For instance, it's so difficult for you to get into irrigation schemes without the help of the ministry. It's also difficult for you to reach to remote farmers without the help of the Agritech's office. So building relationships has helped us achieve that, because now we have the ministry to our help. We also have other players in the industry to our help, who can actually introduce us to the people we need and the right people for the things that we need to push to the farmers.
Terrific. It's been great chatting with you, Sydney, and you sound like you are onto a good thing, and we wish you the very best as well as you go forward. Is there anything in 30 seconds that you would like to share with your target markets about your future plans?
There isn't much that I can say right now, but I would like to encourage each and everyone who is into agriculture to stay vigilant. As I always say, Zimbabwean agriculture is rising, and there's no better time to invest in agriculture than now. So let's stay in there, despite the challenges. Let's keep pushing. The future is green.
Terrific, Sydney. You have a great day, mate. It's been good chatting with you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, moving on very quickly to our next focus, which is processing, the area of processing. And there I will introduce you to Forget Chareka, but we'll have a few pictures that will support what she is doing in processing. Audra, over to you.
Yeah, you can introduce Forget, and I will just roll the pictures as she's speaking.
Oh, thank you so much, Patrick. Good morning, everyone. My name is Forget Chareka. I'm an agronomic engineer, entrepreneur, and the co-founder and product development director for Chashi Foods. So Chashi Foods is a green enterprise that is socially and environmentally conscious, with an aim to reduce post-harvest and food losses in the sub-Saharan Africa, leveraging technology and agro-processing opportunities. So 3 years ago, we started Chashi with a very strong commitment to solve the post-harvest losses. So I can give you a little bit of statistics so that you can see how big the challenge is. So globally, 1/3 of the food being produced do not make it into plates, but goes into the landfill. And that's the same challenge in Africa, Latin America, Asia. So in Africa, every year, 40% of the fruits and vegetables being produced goes into waste. And that is equivalent to $4 billion just going into waste. And that food is like enough to feed 48 million people. That is a population of Kenya for 1 year. And if we are coming back to Zimbabwe, it means the whole food that is going into waste can feed the population of Zimbabwe for 3 years. So that's a big challenge farmers face every day, especially in horticulture, because they lack robust cold storage facilities. And maybe they are not closer to the market, and most of the farmers lack post-handling skills, and that causes a lot of mechanical damage. Or if they are coming from Tare to Harare, there are a lot of mechanical damage that can happen along the way. So given this alarming and maybe disheartening statistics, we take it as a challenge, as an opportunity for us as Chashi Foods to produce 100% natural dried fruits. So we have apples, pineapples, mango that are seasonally, bananas, and we are also value adding the peanuts, normal peanuts. We bake them and put some spices. And so the whole business model is anchored on 3 Ps. That is the people. So the people are at the heart of the work that we do. So maybe we need to narrow down to what type of people, those farmers in rural area. And that's something very important to me. I don't want to see any farmer working so hard. After working so hard, they just throw that food into the bin without making enough for it, because agriculture actually means a lot to those farmers. I was raised in a subsistent family like background. My grandmother was a farmer. We didn't make much, and that could also affect our way of living, because she will not have enough money to send us to school, access good health, and actually even have like a well-balanced diet. So when we just now started Chashi, we said, okay, those people, the farmers, should be at the center of our business. So we buy from various farmers from Murewa, Mutare, Mutoko, Beatrice. Why we choose to buy directly from the farmer? Because we want to increase their income per capita. And I'm glad to say that we have managed to do that by 35%. So on the planet side of it, our business model is what goes into the system when we are processing, we should not have waste. So we have a closed cycle. And I'm also proud to say, since we started operations last year in February up to date, we have saved more than 25 tons of fruits and vegetables from going into waste, and reduced at least 10% of the carbon emissions. And we trained also more than 250 farmers in the pandemic on how actually they can dry vegetables and fruits in a very like more sustainable way, using like the resources available to them. And one of the farmers from Gurube actually made it to sell to a local hotel where she lives. That makes us like a happy company that we are. And I'm so happy that on that note, we also managed to provide employment to 8 youth, and 5 of them are women. So that's basically about Chashi Foods, and it has a healthy component of it. So we make sure that the fruits that we are producing, we look at the nutrition part of it. So these are good products for people who want to lose weight, people who are diabetic, and people who just want to lead a healthy lifestyle. So thank you.
Forget, thank you very much for your testimony. It was certainly very different. And let me just say to our audience how exciting it is that we have women who are participating, because this is the root of the term diversity. Forget, I would be interested in your journey, because it's very untypical for women in the past to have chosen agriculture as a focus. What was your journey? How did you discover agriculture?
Okay, so growing up, I had like different ambitions. I wanted to be a bank teller as my mother. So when I was in Form 2, that was a turning point of everything. I was in a boarding school. I came back home, and our neighbor actually came to ask for ammonium fertilizer with a cup. So then I asked why. Then he told me that he wanted to treat a wound of an ox that he used for drudgery. So I followed him to the crow. Then he scratched the wound. It started oozing blood, and the ox just jumped off and almost hit a small girl with a wheelbarrow. So like that, I couldn't like take it. When I went to school, I said I wanted to do agriculture, but I was in the A class where people in the A do practical subjects like technical graphics and computer science. So it was like a fight for me to move from A class to be able to do like agriculture is a practical, but the struggle continues within the school. I fight like my own battles, and finally made it up to when I want to go to A level, I got a C, so I couldn't like now do sciences. And by that time I wanted to be a veterinarian so that I can help people in my community actually to with that animal warfare knowledge. Then, yeah, there was a diversion of career that happened. Then when I now started going to uni, I also approached the WUA and made a history of knocking at the dean's door and say, I did arts, but my heart is in animal science. Then, unfortunately, I didn't have money to pursue a degree at WUA. Then I found a scholarship and went to Costa Rica, where I did agricultural sciences and natural resources management. And that's where, like, when I was there, I started like changing the mentality and start to like, okay, see what I'm learning, just like compare it to the Zimbabwean context and start to understand that where I come from, in my community, agriculture is life. Then in my country, Zimbabwe, agriculture is the economy's mainstay. So I thought that like the knowledge that I was getting is useful to give it back to the Zimbabwean community, lifting my community, contributing to social and economic development. So I just saw that maybe that was not just getting agriculture, like skills was not enough, because I think like for a long time, agriculture has like a bad image. People just think that those people who are so down or those people who are poor are the people actually that are engaged in agriculture. So when I see agriculture, I see like employment opportunity. I see it as a way of living. So agriculture is the way that I walk through life every day. It's an industry that we're supporting because it gives us raw materials. It contributes to our economic growth. So I decided now to do another degree in entrepreneurship and innovation, so that I add the agriculture, like I add the business part of it to the agriculture knowledge that I have, so that I contribute to the agribusiness part of it, make sure that I will be an example to other youth, so that they can see the light in the tunnel. They can see that you can actually choose agriculture and live a better life and leave a mark of excellence or change to our beloved nation.
Well, thank you, Forget. That's certainly very interesting. I'll tell you what else caught my attention, perhaps very briefly in a minute or so. Can you tell me about your experiences in Costa Rica, where you spent some time? How differently do they approach their agriculture, and what lessons did you learn that will be good for Zimbabwe?
Okay, so the very most important lesson I learned from Costa Rica is shared value. I learned that people love working together so that everyone in the community can prosper. So wherever I had like an opportunity to do my 1-year professional work experience, in agri-entrepreneurship, working with the university and Grameen Bank, going to community, training farmers on how to, like on food processing, how to start a business. And I have seen them working together. I've seen them like sharing knowledge. So I think like that is an important lesson that as a Zimbabwean, we should learn from that. Okay, if I have knowledge in a certain area that can help like my neighbor, that can help my friend who want to go into the same space, I shouldn't be stingy with that information, because my success or the success of my friend or the success of my neighbor is our success and is the success of the country. Costa Rica is a very small country with 5 million people. They are very successful because they work together, because they value what they have. And they have like the other big lesson also was the way people approach innovation. People do like great stuffs without maybe big machine or complicated like sort of infrastructure. So that like really helped me when I come back to Zimbabwe to start Chashi. We didn't start it with like a very big machinery or that kind of stuff. With the little resources that we had. I think that was $500. By that time, when we started, there was no money, but that 500 came when we actually started to show people these are the prototypes that we had. But trust me, we bought small dryers and we started going. And from there, like, people chipped in to support us. So when you want to start a business, sometimes you need to learn to collaborate with others and use the little that you have to make the best out of it. When people start to see the best out of what you are doing, then the right people with the right resources will come and support you.
Well, thank you, Forget. And I can tell you that it's certainly been game-changing to hear of some of your ideas. And also, I remember going back to the early part of your presentation, the staggering statistics as they concern losses. You certainly shared important information, and we're also looking forward to keeping in touch with you as we go into the future. But for today, all the very best. It's certainly been good, and we wish you the very best as you go forward.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, have a great day. We're going to move on now, ladies and gentlemen, and our next speaker is Faith. Hello, Faith. Faith, can you hear me? Hello, Faith. Can you hear me at all?
Yes, I can. Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful, Faith. Good to have you with us. Yours is a good name in business. It's important to have faith.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you so much.
Not at all. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit about your particular area, Faith.
Okay. We are a food and beverage manufacturing company with specialty in the production of baobab juice from the Superfood baobab and baobab coffee by products. And we're also doing ice popsicles, which we normally know as at our areas. So we actually do the baobab and making ice popsicles for the supermarkets so that both the young and the elderly can enjoy the ice popsicles. So this fruit has been neglected for so many years, yet it boosts an entire nutritional content. The baobab juice contains vitamin C, which is more than the one that we find in fruits and vegetables. It's rich in calcium, more than the one in milk. It's also rich in iron, more than the one that we find in meat, potassium, more than the one in bananas, and antioxidants. Antioxidants are said to reduce the risk of getting cancer. To reduce the risk of getting cancer, though the research is still undergoing. So these are these components we find in them in the baobab, in the superfood baobab, yet people didn't know this all along and it hasn't been used. So for our raw materials, we're fetching them into bridge and we're creating employment for the elderly and young women because they harvest the baobab juice, the baobab fruit, and we go and sell them and buy it from them. And as young entrepreneurs, we're facing a lot of challenges in the market. For instance, we're buying our raw materials in US dollars, whereas when we are selling our products, we're getting paid in bond notes. And you actually realize some supermarkets, you give them an order this week and they'll give you your payment after 1 week, and the rates are fluctuating. And it's also a great challenge for us to get a shelf for our products in big supermarkets like those reputable companies, because they'll be saying you need a very good and full pilot plant. For instance, you're supposed to have tested by SARS, and as young entrepreneurs, we don't have that much money to have big pilot plants. We don't have that much money for us to go and get tested with SARS for us to be certified. So those are the challenges that we're facing as young entrepreneurs. And also, of course, there are loans at the banks for youth empowerment, but you realize that the terms and conditions are very disheartening to an extent that they ask for collateral and all of those things. So these are the major challenges that we are facing as young entrepreneurs. Hello.
I beg your pardon, sorry. I was on mute there and I didn't realize that. Thank you very much, Faith. You know, as you know, the idea of health is a big thing in community now. And Baobab has been very, very well received. I know even at home, people have tried that juice, and I myself have also tried. You talked about the creation of employment opportunities. How has that gone?
It has gone quite well, because right now I'm working with a number of 5 women and 4 men. We have 3 women and 2 men in the production, and we have 2 people at sales and 1 for marketing. And also at the rural areas, we've managed to incorporate 9 families that are helping us with harvesting the baobab fruit, and also pounding it to powder. So all in all, we have managed to create employment for 15 people.
Which is really exciting. So well done for that. But also very concerned. I mean, you quite rightly should be concerned about quality, because today's customer is very interested in quality. It's not just the supply, but the quality. So you've had the challenges raising the amount required to be able to get your products tested. Have the Standards Association been able to help you with ideas?
Yes, they have, because the Standard Association, they deal in 2 different parts. You can send your product for them to test if they are any hazards in your product, also testing the nutritional value, and they give you just a paper to say that we are certifying this product, that this is healthy. And also for the bigger supermarkets, they require you to take the team from the SARS to come on the plant and make sure that you have all the requirements that are needed for their standards. Let's take, for instance, for a very big pilot plant, and everything to be up to date, the equipment, the machinery, the viscosity meters, the pH meters, and all of those things.
Also good to learn. So finally, just let me ask you about, we all need capital in business, and you've talked about your frustration securing capital. I know some of their terms and conditions as a business person myself are not the easiest, but there are exciting new players coming in. Are you making any progress growing your network with potential funders for your project?
Yes, recently, mid last year, we managed to scoop a prize as the best young women entrepreneur at ILO, with board with the Green Enterprise, and they gave us some lump sum for us to boost ourselves and to restructure everything. So we managed to rebrand. If you looked at the first picture, that was our old packaging, and this is our new packaging that we managed to rebrand. We also managed to buy a pasteurizer. We're now pasteurizing our juice to kill all the microorganisms so that it can have a longer shelf life. Because we're also having challenges that if you are to sell our products to supermarkets, they will return the baobab juice due to fermentation, because the lifespan was very small, was very little. It was below a month. So now we are now able to pasteurize our product and increase the shelf life to 4 months.
That is really good news. You know, Faith, I want to thank you for sharing again. I think that you are on an exciting path, and we are looking forward to more product development from you. But for now, can we take the opportunity to thank you for your time and for sharing what you have shared, and we wish you all the very best.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, then. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, sugarcane is our next focus, sugarcane, and we're going to talk to young gentleman, Maximos Kwenda. Maximos, good morning. Are you there?
Yes, morning.
Good morning. How are you,
Can
Maximos? We are going to play a
here.
video from you first, and then I'll come back to you. Does that work for you?
It's okay.
Terrific. So stand by for your video.
My name is Maximus Kwenda. I'm the founder of Sugarcane Bites in Zimbabwe. Sugarcane Bites is sugarcane that is peeled and then sliced into small slices, bite pieces that are ready to eat. The idea is to take away the challenge that is faced by many people, that of peeling sugarcane using your teeth. So this sugarcane, you can now buy it from a supermarket or a store near you. I started this from my house. So you too, if you have a project that you want to do, you can start it. Just believe in yourself and start from where you are and start with what you have. This sugarcane, as I said, you can buy it from a store. The advantages are that we are taking away the pain that is involved in peeling off the sugarcane. And also, we are also increasing the access to the product. Before this innovation, people were buying sugarcane only from the guy by the side of the road or from marketplaces like Bar and Sugar. But now you can buy this sugarcane from a store near you in a clean environment that you are used to buy your groceries. It's now available in Zimbabwe in shops, not 2, not 3, but 15 stores in Harare. So this is good innovation. So if you have an idea, my message to you is work on your idea. Start with what you have and start from where you are. You will make it. I'm doing it. You too can do it.
And so another great story, a sweet one, if I may add, really, really great story. So Maximus, tell me a little bit about your journey then. I hear you talking and, quite rightly, you talk about starting where you are and not waiting for the ideal conditions. Tell me what it was like. How did you embark on this journey?
Oh, yes. Thanks, Patrick. I hope you can hear me clearly.
I can do, and thank you.
Oh, excellent. You know what happened? It was a matter of solving my own problem, our own problem at home. My family and I, we love sugarcane. We love eating sugarcane. So during winter, we usually buy and consume sugarcane. So the challenge was my wife and 2 kids. I have 2 kids, young daughters. I used to do the peeling for them using my teeth. So this year, my wife joined them and said, no, can you also peel for me? I've a toothache, something like that. So I was peeling sugarcane for 3 people and also for myself. So it was a challenge. So I started experimenting peeling the sugarcane with a knife. Then I eased the job on me. And from that moment, I realized, oh, this could be a problem faced by many people. So let me do the peeling and then try to find a way of selling this in a smarter way. I didn't want to sell the sugarcane by the roadside. So I thought if you can find some good packaging, then I can try to sell that in a shop. And for sure I did. I started with a knife for peeling sugarcane, another knife for slicing the sugarcane. And then I bought about 2 logs of sugarcane, then some packaging material and all that. That's what I started, those simple things. I started with those, and then I approached a shop, a very good supermarket. So after I approached them, then they accepted that. I went with about 2 packs of packed sugarcane, the packs that you show me and in my hand in the video. I went, that was Food Lovers Market. Can you imagine? I don't know where I got the guts to visit such a big store known for having quality food. I went there. Thank God I went there and they accepted. Actually, they ate all the 2 packs and said, no, the pack that you gave me, the buyer was the one who said, no, the pack that you gave me, I went to see my boss and he's actually eating that pack. And this one you're going to live with us. Can you deliver 50 tomorrow? That's how I started. So I started from my home. I did that from my home. So it's possible to start where you are. It's possible to start with the little that you have. All you need is to have passion for what you do and also maybe trying to solve the problem that you are facing yourself. it could actually be a problem being faced by many. I think so, Patrick.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. You know, I work with a lot of other people to try and develop just this kind of approach to life and living. It's no longer the time to just be looking for jobs, as it were, but if you can look for problems, we have an enormous number of problems everywhere around us. So I'm really very grateful that you've shared what you've shared. And can you tell me a little bit about the progress that you are making with the marketing drive for your product?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. That is really an interesting area. Like I said, I started from my home and I approached a specific shop. So after approaching that specific shop, they accepted my goods. What I did was focusing on social media marketing, especially Facebook. I supplied the shop and they put my product on their shelves. Then I took some pictures and then I shared those pictures on my profile, on my Facebook profile. I started sharing those in various groups that I was on. And I continued approaching other stores as well. Next, I approached the spa, not the big one, but the small franchise spa shops. They accepted my product. I also took pictures from those stores and then I posted them on my social media pages. And it got attention from many people who saw the post. I was sharing this post in mainly agricultural groups on Facebook. Some people saw them, then some popular pages like the Agribusiness media page, they saw that, they posted that. Then after that, others people saw what I was doing, and eventually I got featured in a newspaper, the Herald, on a Saturday. Can you believe that? So the marketing went viral like that. So I continued the actual work on the ground. It's important to do your marketing, but it's advertising on social media, something like that. But it's also important to do the actual work on the ground, to continue approaching people. It's not like if you put something out there in the newspaper and social media, then people come rushing to you. Of course, you may get 1 or 2 calls, but the actual job on the ground, you need to be doing that. That's what I continued doing. I continued approaching stores, food lovers, the bigger food lovers with 3 stores. One in same level, Avondo and Blawa. I approached them, they accepted product. Spa, at one point I was supplying about 5 spa stores, like the food lovers group. Then in September, I started this in May, 26 May, that's when I made my first sale at Food Lovers Market. Then gradually we grew like that. Then in May, I approached the TM Pick and Pay group and they accepted. Now I'm supplying about there are 10 of their upmarket stores. I'm supplying my product is found in those stores. So it's a matter of trusting the process. Usually what I'm doing now is what I wanted to do when I just started. But as more people start accepting you, you also grow in your business, you also learn more. Then you realize, no, it's actually good for you to grow gradually like that. Because at one point you want to supply everyone when you start. But really, sometimes you may not have the capacity. So growing gradually may actually be good for you. So of course, I'm approaching other bigger stores. You know them here in Zimbabwe. I've been there to them. They asked for certain requirements, which I'm yet to meet. Some automation, some regulatory requirements, or some standards that I will have to meet. Like I said, I'm operating from home. It's a backyard business, but I stay in an area in Prospect where your backyard is actually bigger than some of the premises that are rented by some businesses. So I believe that you can supply bigger people even working from home or your backyard, something like that. So in terms of marketing, I am continuing online. Then funds permitting, we can actually do some skits with some popular influencers or even feature in the press. But the issue of support here, I have been supported by many who are selling my products, others supporting by following online, sharing our post. Then there's the issue of financial support. Like I'm doing sugarcane bites now. I would like to do even sugarcane juice, but the machine for extracting sugarcane juice from a sugarcane is a bit different from from the popular juice machines that we see in the shops. It's a bit expensive. I also like to dry the sugarcane. There is a lot you can do with the sugarcane. So hopefully this coming year we can expand the business in that direction, Patrick.
Yeah, well, thank you, Maximus. You know, it's really been exciting to hear your account of events. I've learned a lot myself, and it's just, it does strike me that you can also help me for your final question, perhaps in 30 seconds. How important is personal discipline if people want to succeed as entrepreneurs or as business people? What testimony can you share for personal discipline?
Oh, it's really important to have that personal discipline. If not, you, as a small entrepreneur, it's easy to mix the money from the business and your own personal money. And also, it's easy to miss targets on time. Discipline on financial expenditures, how you spend your money, discipline on managing your time. It's very important, because if you don't, you may not see whether your business is growing or not. You can easily take your money, take a business money and mix it like that. You may not be able to see whether your business is growing or not. So also in terms of spending your time, you are starting a business, you need to have discipline. You need to work on your business and also your family life. I'm a father. I have a family to take care of. At the same time, I have a business to run. So you need to have a discipline as an individual. It's really important. You can't do without discipline. Entrepreneurship requires you to have that kind of discipline.
Well, I'll tell you what, Maximus, again, very exciting chatting to you. I guess on behalf of all of us in production, we want to take the opportunity to wish you the very best, and looking forward to your continued growth. And this is how you do it. Tell your story.
Excellent. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Not at all. Have a great day.
Cheers. Thanks so much.
All right, then, moving on. Just let me check to see if our next guests are available. We are shifting our focus now, or should be, to distribution. Noma, are you with us? Noma Msasiwa? Hello, Norma, are you out there? That's all right. It looks like Norma may not be available. So let's check with our next speaker, who is focused on bees. Mildred Nyoani. Mildred, can you hear me? It looks like Mildred is not available either. That's not a problem. Our conversations will continue. It really does give me great pleasure, actually, to introduce our next speaker, because he is known to me. He is known to me specifically because I have worked with him and am continuing to work with him. And for a young person, I have been thrilled with the level of professionalism that he has brought to all that we are doing. But also beyond that, I think it's his knowledge of his particular area. So it really is exciting to see how young Zimbabweans are transforming to make themselves relevant to our current situation. So our next focus is media. So Rawlings is our next speaker, Rawlings Coffee, who is the Chief Executive of Agribusiness Media. So Rawlings, good morning. How are you doing, Rawlings?
Good morning, Patrick. Thank you so much. How are you?
Yeah, no, very well, thrilled. And even though that we've spoken, it's still exciting to hear your story. So take it away, sir. What can we learn?
Sure. Thanks again, Patrick. You know.
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon, Rawlings. I think that Audra may have had a video. Do you have a video here, Audra?
I do.
Wonderful, Rawlings. Can I come back to you after the video?
Sure, please do.
Terrific.
Hi, my name is Rawlings, founder and business development officer with Agribusiness Media. Agribusiness Media was founded in 2018 after a realization that social and digital media can be an essential tool in disseminating information to players in the agricultural value chain, especially farmers. We believe farming is a business, thus it requires information for proper decision making, like any other business. You know, growing up, I have always wondered why farmers had to pay for information, be it in the form of publications such as magazines. And I then realized that we, as young people, had a role to play. And after my Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness, I then felt equipped enough to solve the information barrier in the farming community. We are currently a team of 10 covering key pillars of agribusiness media, that is marketing, operations, and finance. To the young generation out there, I would say there are a lot of opportunities in agriculture. And the beauty of it is you can start from anywhere along the value chain, not necessarily going into on-farm production. I also encourage my fellows to stop the Me Too syndrome or mentality, but to really identify a problem, then come up with a unique, innovative solution. That is one of the key pillars for a successful business. Thank you.
Okay, then. So thank you for that video. Rawlings, coming back to you. I think, you know, just the fact that you are a media reminds me of that observation from when I was young, that, you know, it's no good winking at a girl in the dark. You can wink as much as you like, but it's got absolutely no impact. Is media making a difference to the farmers that you are involved with, sir?
Sure. Thanks, Patrick. You know, we believe media plays a key role when it comes to information dissemination to farmers. That is educating them on both technical and business issues. Issues like farm technology, touching issues such as livestock production, climate issues, crop production, business management, post-harvest management, etc. But you'll notice that we had a number of problems that then created a barrier or barriers when it comes to information access by farmers. And number one, Patrick, was the issue of cost of information. Our farmers were being made to pay for magazines and other publications. And the second one is the issue of, or the use rather, of traditional media at a time when our farmers are migrating to a digital world. And lastly is the type of content. Our farmers were getting more of technical information. And that resulted in highly technical farmers, but with less knowledge on business management. And as a result of that, our farmers would then do well in terms of production, scoring 100% in production. But then they didn't have the business management skills. So they had information on how to plant, how to apply fertilizers, how to maintain a weed-free crop, but not much information on how to market their farm produce. And I'm sure fellow farmers have seen the recent flooding of agricultural commodities such as tomatoes and such as cocoa. So what we then did as agribusiness media to address the issues above is we decided to complement the efforts by the Ministry of Agriculture and also their developmental partners by using the already existing social media platforms, and this at no cost to the farmer. So you will appreciate that there has been a lot of material that was developed, be it on production agriculture, and the same on business management. We have a lot of accounting books, a lot of marketing books. So agribusiness media then became a hybrid sort of information hub that is now covering both the technical and business. So we look at the marketing literature that is there and then model it to see how best it can apply on different farm business features. Because we believe that our farmers need the right information and they need this information at the appropriate time in their correct language and on devices or platforms that are readily available to them. So basically agribusiness media then breaks the information barrier through our publications such as the Agribusiness magazine, our virtual field days, the Agribusiness directory, which was whose forward was done by Dr. Basera, and also our social media platforms. And this is at no cost to the farmer. So we provide information right from the decision. You know, farmers need information to make decisions, which crop to plant, which livestock venture to go into, ending with the sale of the produce. at a market. By so doing, we then created an effective advertising platform directly targeting farmers. So in brief, we are really taking advantage of the migration from traditional to digital media. And we are very happy with the results, Patrick. You know, when we started, a lot of farmers were asking technical questions, and we now get sort of a balanced request for both technical and business information. You know, earlier on, then farmers would then ask how to apply fertilizers, you know, how to keep their crops weed free. But of late, our farmers have been asking, you know, business questions, market metrics, market data, the current prices on the markets, issues to do with risk management. That is the sort of information that is coming. And I'm sure you have also noticed that a number of media houses have adopted the free for farmers model, where, you know, the publications they used to charge farmers are now for free. So this is exactly what we envisaged, and that was 3 years ago. And now Agribusiness Media is about 120,000 farmers following on Facebook, and 109,000 farmers on WhatsApp, and we also have over 11,000 farmers on Twitter. So Agribusiness Media commands the largest farmer audience, with our post reaching over 1 million farmers every month.
You know, this is truly exciting, Rawlings, and I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier when you were talking about barriers to communication. One of the barriers to communication is listed as culture. How much is our culture to both farming and business occurring from what you can see?
Well, Patrick, what I've noticed is that, you know, we have been focusing more on the traditional approach to both media dissemination and even the approach to the really, you know, production. That most of our farmers are doing more of subsistence production, and that's really based on their culture. But then what we are doing is to come in and try and assist farmers to also migrate from this subsistence mindset to a more commercial mindset. And this has been made possible by the information that we are disseminating to farmers. And also in terms of you know, media consumption pattern, the traditional way or the more cultural way is when they receive hard copy publications. But then you will notice in the long run, it will be very difficult to give reference to such hard copies, and you sometimes may not get direct feedback from the farmers when you are relying on traditional media. So the migration really is a great impact to farmers today.
Yeah, again, very insightful and certainly very helpful. Thank you, Rawlings. Rawlings, perhaps the last question. As we go forward, what challenges do you see that you would like to overcome?
Well, the challenges, well, there have been, you know, the limited access to the internet, and this has affected some of our audience. But we are glad that Agribusiness Media has adopted, you know, the use of existing media platforms. So, for instance, we have a number of farmers following us on WhatsApp, about 109,000 farmers. So these farmers now do not need to have extra data or maybe out of bundle data to browse and receive our information. They can do it using the same WhatsApp bundles that they have without really investing further into you know, other bundles. The same with Facebook. Now mobile internet providers do have bundles for these social media platforms. So we are actually taking advantage of that as well. So the challenge mainly is that barrier, which we are addressing by using the existing social media platforms.
Wow.
So I would also,
this is terrific. And I want to take the So yeah, thanks again, Rawlings. This has really been insightful, as I say. And if only because I have worked with you, I see the impact that it has on your target audiences. So I can only wish you the very best. And I think that for all of us in business, I think that the commitment to improvement is what we all want. So all the very best as you continue to grow agribusiness media. And we look forward to sharing more platforms as we go into the future.
Thanks, Patrick.
So to our audience, great. We have a little bit of a delay there in our connection, but be that as it may, we have come to the end of our speakers. And we apologize that 3 of our ladies were not able to make it, but these things happen. I'm sure that we still got value from the ones we were able to hear from. What we would like to do before we close off is strictly, do we have 2 questions? If our audience members have just 2 questions, you can send them in, or I suppose just give us a concise question right at this point, if you have something that is really burning that you would like to share with everybody else, or send in a question to our chat box. Do we have questions at all, ladies and gentlemen? Well, we may not have any immediate questions, and that's okay. But still, I feel that our time has been valuable. I don't have any numbers just yet, but certainly our attendance was fantastic. We have had attendance from the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, for which we are very grateful, and indeed support of our development partners from FAO, which is truly amazing. So let me take the opportunity. Yes?
I think there's a hand up. It's
Wonderful.
Galaxy
Can that
8.
person go right ahead? So yes, we'll be able to make space. Can that person go right ahead? Please introduce yourselves and go ahead with your question.
Hello, everyone. How are you? My
Very
name
good,
is
and thank you. You are?
I'm good. My name is Salom. I just want to ask a question. It was a really good presentation, and I thank everyone for the information, and we've learned a lot. I'm in the diaspora, and I am really interested in agriculture, but I don't have a partner who is in Zimbabwe to help me so that we can have a solid thing to do. Do you help with those people, or it's just a question, do you help if I want a partner to work with in Zimbabwe while I'm working here?
Well, Salom, thank you very much for your question. I'm going to suggest that either Rawlings or Audra speak to that, but I can see how there may be potential challenges if someone else is to pick a business partner for you. It's a very personal thing, but yeah, Rawlings or Audra, please help.
Yeah, sure. There are also, a number of individuals interested in the business of farming stationed here in Zimbabwe, and you can make use of our platforms, our agribusiness media platforms. There you can also meet your potential partners. So just send us your email and connect you to our platforms.
Okay, where do I send my email to?
Through the chat box.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you,
right.
Salom. Well, after Salom, one more question. Do we have any other lady or gentleman?
Yes, we have a few hands up. I think the next one that went up was Kumbi. So Kumbi, over to you.
Okay. Hello, my name is Kumbirai. I also wanted some information on how we can grow our business partnerships. Let's say if I want to start a partnership with my friends in agriculture, we need such information because I have partnership that I started, which is called Umpumelelo. And we are, in the meantime, we're just cloud funding, but we also need information on how to get land and how to, and generally how to grow as a partnership.
Well, thank you, Kumbi. Very interesting question. I hand you over to our two esteemed partners to give you their perspectives.
Go ahead, Rawlings.
Yeah, sure. There are a lot of key considerations when going into partnerships, and because of the little time that we have, I don't think we can do justice in responding to that. But what I am thinking is to, since we have two similar questions from this webinar, is to do a separate webinar where we discuss the issues of partnerships and how to really get the right partner, because this is a really an important subject that we need to give justice on. So I don't know what you think, Patrick, but yeah, maybe to have a separate webinar where we address the issues to do with partnerships, because there are a lot of problems or issues that can come up. And this is why, the ministry recently said whoever goes into partnership with someone owning land has to involve the ministry for joint ventures. So those are some of the things that we'll then have to discuss.
Well, thank you, Rawlings. I do agree with you there. I think that you mentioned earlier in your own presentation the need to keep growing in our business management side of things. And clearly this is a case in point. So a separate arrangement where you are a little broader and deeper in the discussion so that it speaks to the many issues that can affect how business relationships can either go wrong or how they can be made better or more effective. So yes, Kumbi, thank you for your question. I hope that helps you.
Yes, thank you.
Patrick, may I suggest that there's a few more hands up, but maybe they can put their questions in the chat, conscious of time. Really don't want to cut the conversation short. Glad to see that there's a lot of interest and conversation here, but our time has come to its end, and we want to respect the time that that people have already offered us. So might I suggest that Godi, there's someone from Boer Goat Stud, and one other person's hand up that I see. If you can just place your questions in the chat, we'll leave this open so that it allows you to do that. But Patrick, if you can make our way to the close, that would be great. And thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Audra. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, all our audience and participants today. This has been time well spent, I'm sure you'll agree. And the idea, now that we have started, is how do we sustain it? How do we make it happen again and again and again? Because nothing stays the same. And as conditions change, your information too will need to change. So we look forward to an even higher level of commitment. But the way to do that is simply to stay in touch. So again, as Audra was saying, please send your questions through to the chat box, complete with your details, so that we can come back to you. But in the interim, let me take the opportunity on behalf of our partners, specifically the Ministry of Agriculture here in Zimbabwe and the government itself, and likewise our development partner, the Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO. Thank you for your support, and all the speakers who were able to share their stories. And last, but certainly by no means least, the people who bring this platform to you. Audra Wilson-Max, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Brand Africa Project. We'd like to say thank you to all concerned, and we wish you a great day, and we look forward to seeing you in the next installment. And yeah, the other partner, a development partner that we really need to thank are UN Zimbabwe. So UN Zimbabwe, thank you for your support. It is certainly relevant, it is certainly cherished, and we are looking forward to coming together again with you in the not too distant future. So let's be safe and let's enjoy our holidays, keeping in mind that it matters to have direction. So make a decision where you want to go in life, and everything else will come together. All the best and have a great day ahead.